Hello and welcome to this very special show. We're bringing you some of the best pros across the world here on Tea Time with me, Shaili Chopra.
On Tea Time today, the golfing greats Arjun Atwal, Daniel Chopra, Paul McGinley, all in exclusive conversations. In news, catch Ian Poulter and Dustin Johnson making a brilliant team of themselves in Florida. And the tip this week.
We cannot ground our club on the sand because if we do, we get penalized for that.
Today's show has Arjun Atwal, the one man who's associated with turning Indian golf in the last few months right on top of the global map. We catch up with him about his life history, how things have shaped up since the time of his PGA Tour win, and what lies ahead for a man who could now be looking at several victories in the bag ahead. Arjun Atwal, thanks for joining us. How is it to be back in India?
Oh, it feels great. You know, I've been playing on the US Tour since '03, and I try and make it a point to come back every winter. So it's been fun.
Especially coming back after the victory, do you think it's sort of a real comeback into the country?
Yeah. For me, it's no different. You know, I think more people have noticed me this time. But as far as I'm concerned, you know, I still hang out with my family and friends, and for them, you know, it's no big deal.
Do you think that you've actually turned out to be quite a game changer for golf in India?
I don't know. We'll find out. You know, it's too soon to tell. But I hope it, you know, it boosts the game's, you know, reputation in the game, in the country, and you know, gets more popular. Hopefully.
You've been though playing for some time now, and especially at a time when golf wasn't quite on the priority list. I'm not sure if it still is, but compared to cricket, it's been quite, you know, different. Do you think that in the last 14 odd years, you have seen a little bit of an interest from the government's end, the private sector's end?
Not from the government, but yeah, definitely from the private sector. You know, I've seen when I turned pro in '95, the prize money was on the Indian Tour. We were playing for like 5 lakhs total purse every event, and now it's they're averaging around between 30 and 50. So the private sector has definitely stepped up. Sponsors like Hero Honda and Gautam Thapar, they've stepped up to the plate, and it's been good.
What do you think you could sort of contribute from this point towards the game? Do you think that you and your victories could become a good hook for more corporates to step in?
I think so. You know, I personally think that the more we play outside of India and the more Indians get recognition on the world stage, the better it is for us. Having said that, I still don't have any corporate sponsors personally, so if anyone is listening, it'd be great.
They sure are. This is a business channel.
Right, yeah. So, I hope, guys keep playing well, like Jeev, Jyoti, Shiv, all these guys. Every time they play well outside, it's good for the game.
But now with Olympics as a goal, you think that's going to be the next big chase for us?
I hope so. I mean, I'm trying to give it a push for that. You look at China, as soon as they announced the 2016 Olympics, they've made a big push for it, and I know there's a bunch of coaches from the States and Australia who are already in China. So, we need our government to get involved. If they don't, then I don't see how it's going to happen.
And in that sense, you're quite disappointed still with the infrastructure around golf here in India?
Yeah, it's not where it should be anyway, I mean, I know there's a lot of improvement, but there is room for a lot of improvement, so definitely.
When you look at your own self, do you think you've evolved in the last year or so with this sudden, I would say, surprise that your victory showed to you?
I wasn't surprised. Most people might have been surprised because I was injured last year and I didn't really play much. But in '08 I had a pretty good year. I won twice, once in Europe and once on the Nationwide. So I wasn't surprised at all. I've been in contention a bunch of times on the PGA Tour and come up short a few times, but this is what I've worked for, so it doesn't surprise me.
Has it taught you something though?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
What?
Just patience. I had to be patient because I in '05 I had a couple of chances and I didn't take them, and
And you'd been playing for so long anyway.
Yeah, and I came close, lost in a playoff once, and so I guess I learned patience.
We were just talking about corporate sponsorship. A lot of corporate India is actually participating in a whole lot of corporate tournaments, and the money is going up on that as well. If you were to give out a message to some of the businessmen who are watching you, what would you say to them?
If they're interested in golf, I think they need to look at the individuals playing in the game as well. I'm not just talking about myself and Jyoti or Jeev or anybody, but the kids. They should get involved with the kids. That's where our roots are. And if you need to make this game really, really go forward, I think that's where you got to start.
And golf is an expensive game.
It is, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just get a sense from you about your comeback into the country right now. I think people are looking at you as a mascot. Do you think Indian golfers are
like a bulldog?
If that's what you want to say. Right. No, but from the corporate sector's point of view, there's a lot of talk right now that the game is more about psychology, and I think golfers are also paying a lot more attention about focus. For you personally, what works?
Everything. It's not just about the mind. You need to have a good game. I mean, if you just think that your mind's strong enough and you don't practice and you don't put in the hours, no psychologist or nothing, no matter how strong your mind is, it's not going to help you. So it goes hand in hand. It's about 50-50, I think. You put your work in at home, and when you're out in a tournament, that's where your mind starts to take over. So it goes hand in hand.
Do you get a bit disappointed that all the time, whenever they talk about you, they keep referring to your practice sessions with Tiger Woods?
No, I'm not disappointed.
There's too much focus on that?
No. It's no big deal. He is probably the most popular athlete in the world, and I just happen to be friends with him, and then it's natural. They need to find a story, and they have, so it's no big deal.
What do you think is your favorite piece in your bag?
My putter, probably. I love my putter. I've always been a good putter, and that's what makes me my cash.
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Would you turn a golfing businessman?
I have no idea. I just take it one day.
You come from an industrialist family, right?
Yeah, my dad's a contractor, mining, but I don't really know. I still want to play golf 5 years down the line, but we'll see what happens. I'm just looking at next year right now.
And what's on focus next year?
To win more tournaments.
Did you always want to be a golfer?
Yeah. Well, ever since I started playing golf, yeah.
And until then?
I was too young, I didn't know.
Okay, good to speak with you, Arjun. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks.
See, oops, never mind.
Yeah.
All right, on that note, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back in a moment. You've got some of the best pros across the world who are participating in this. You've got Daniel Chopra, Paul McGinley, all of that coming up for you on Tea Time with me, Shaili Chopra.
There's a simplicity in the way that successful businessmen go about their lives, and it's the same with golfers. The more simple it is in the mind of a golfer, normally the better we play.
There's a lot of other aspects to golf than just hitting the ball well on the driving range.
Welcome back. You're watching Tea Time with me, Shaili Chopra. As promised on the show, we've got the best golfers showcasing right here on Indian soil. Next up is Paul McGinley, who talks about why he wanted to be a businessman all his life and turned up as a golfer. Thanks so much, Paul, for joining us. Well, this is a business audience that's watching you right now, and they have been so interested in your game. What would you like to say to them about what you feel about India?
Well, I love India. This is my second time here. I love Indian food for a start. I've read a lot of books about India. I understand a lot about the history and culture of it, and this week for me is as much about playing good golf, which obviously is my main goal, but I'm also very interested in exploring Indian culture and seeing some sites and going to spend a few extra days at the end of the week and do all that. So I'm looking forward to exploring the country.
Well, that sounds lovely. I'm guessing you're going to the Taj Mahal?
I will, yeah. My wife is coming in on Friday, so we'll go up there at the weekend and probably Monday and have a look at that and see what it's all about.
But how is golf here in India? I mean, this is a lovely course, and it's got some of the sites that are 500 years old. I mean, some of the monuments as a part of the Delhi Golf Club are 500 years old and real, part of the Mughal culture. What does it feel like playing here?
To be honest, it feels like any other country, to be honest. The one thing different is this golf course where it is now, right in the middle. It feels like a zoo that I'm playing in with all the lovely wildlife out there. And that's really nice. Right in the middle of one of the major cities in the world to have a golf course like this.
Did you have a chance to feed the deer or the blue bull?
I did yesterday. They're full of bananas yesterday, so they were jumping around with all the energy they got yesterday.
That's great. But that of course sort of increases the challenge. You were just telling me that you've got 2 business degrees, and I think corporate India would be very interested to know what those are and how interested you've been in business.
Well, very much interested in business. I love playing the Pro-Ams for that reason. My Pro-Am partners want to talk about golf and I want to talk about business. I have 2 degrees. I came to golf late. I was at university in Dublin and I did a degree in marketing there. And I was a very good footballer at that stage, and then I broke my kneecap when I was 19, and that's when I turned to golf. And then I went to America and did a 2nd degree there in international business, and then turned professional quite late at 26 years of age, which is quite late in this game. So I came in through the back door, but I have a background in business and I really enjoy it. I've met a lot of great people over the years in Pro-Ams and such, and I do a lot of corporate days as well too, and I really enjoy those as well, mixing the golf along with the business.
You said that you've entered golf late because you had a chance to catch up with your business degrees. Do you think you would actually pick up business a little later once golf is done with?
I already have. Yeah, a lot of my time I spend now is on business. My business is getting bigger and bigger. I do some golf course design, which I really enjoy. I do a lot of corporate events. I probably do 20 corporate events a year all around the world, which is always a lot of fun. I enjoy doing those too. I've got some wonderful sponsors as well too, which I entertain their guests around the world, not just in Ireland. So my business is expanding. I have to be careful that it doesn't expand too much because I still really want to play. Yeah. And I still have a love for the game and I really want to compete.
Golf and business are pretty close, aren't they? Because it's a little bit about strategy, a lot about making money, I guess, when it comes to professionals.
It is, yeah, but I also look at it from the sponsor's point of view. What are they getting out of it? And there's a great demographic that follows golf and plays golf, and that's very important for sponsors. That's why you have a lot of large multinational companies, banks, for example. We've Hero Honda this week, again, another massive company. It's a really good demographic, the people who are involved in golf, and it's the one thing as a game, golf, that we can offer that other games can't. You can also come to play on the venue that we're going to be playing in the day before in a Pro-Am, playing with the actual players. I mean, I couldn't play tennis with Nadal on centre court the day before Wimbledon or such, or soccer in Wembley before a big soccer game with some of the players. So, or even cricket. I know cricket is very popular over here. So that's what we can offer as a sport that other sports can't do as well.
As you say that, do you think you learn something from business as a golfer?
Oh yeah, very much so. There's a big correlation between successful businessmen and successful golfers. Obviously talent is the most important thing, but there's a simplicity in the way that successful businessmen go about their lives, and it's the same with golfers. The more simple it is in the mind of a golfer, normally the better he plays. But he's got to have that technique. He's got to have that technique foundation behind it all.
That's true. You come from Ireland, that's got some of the gorgeous courses in the world, and though I think it might be slightly under-marketed than you'd like it to be compared to Scotland. Which is your favourite course?
I have a number of courses all around Britain and Ireland. Portrush, I love in Ireland. A place called Baltray, which is just north of Dublin. It's a hidden gem, not many people know about it. I love Portmarnock. And then the Scottish courses, I mean, you have to love St Andrews. If you like golf, you've got to love St Andrews. All the British Open venues are wonderful. So Sunningdale, which is where I live, just outside London too, is one of my favourites. So I like the old-fashioned golf courses. This is what I really like here about this golf course that Peter Thompson, I think, designed it about 30-40 years ago, and he did a wonderful job. I love his green designs. In general, 16 out of the 18 greens I think are excellent. There's a couple of little changes I'd have made personally, speaking with my golf architect hat on now, but I think he's done a wonderful job. Lovely slopes on the greens, lovely shape to the holes, and I love these old-fashioned golf courses. I think modern golf architecture has gone off a little bit in a tangent, and I think we should all bring everything back to these kind of course here.
Would you look to design in India?
I'd love to design in India, yeah. I mean, I was playing with my playing partners today who were involved in the club here, and I was giving them some ideas about where they could trim trees and all that to open up the view of a green more. I think when Peter Thompson would have designed it 30 or 40 years ago, the trees wouldn't have encroached as much as they are, and there's such a beautiful vista behind a lot of the greens.
Yeah.
I think you're losing that with the trees having come in a little bit. So I'm not saying take them out, but they need to be just trimmed back so you have that beautiful vista framing behind the holes which you have. But I love golf course design, and as my career winds down as a player, I'll do more and more golf course design. It's something I have a real passion for.
Okay, 3 very quick final questions. One, what's in your bag that you like the most?
Oh, does it have to be a golf club?
Well, it's totally your call.
Good question. What have I in my bag? Well, my bag has got different compartments in it. One of them, what I call, is the chemist. I've got everything in there, so no matter what happens to me in a golf course, I've got from plasters to mosquito stuff to all kinds of stuff. So I've that.
The detail.
Yeah, I got my golf balls, and then obviously my clubs. My clubs vary so much. Some week the driver behaves well, next week it doesn't, then it's the putter. So it chops and changes all the time.
Was the Ryder Cup the defining moment of life?
Not of life, but in my golfing career, yeah, it was a wonderful moment. I've had 3 Ryder Cups. I've played in 3. I was vice captain in this year's one, and I really enjoyed it. Hopefully the opportunity come that I might be captain someday. I'd love to do that, but I was fortunate. I've won all the Ryder Cups I've been involved in.
Happy to see that the Europeans are doing rather well now.
Yeah, very much so. We've been beaten enough over the years by the Americans, and
even in top positions these days.
Yeah, I mean, number 1 in the world, and we've more than America in the top 10 in the world. So I think European golf is on a real high at the moment, and I think will be for the next 5 years. I look at who's coming through in Europe and who's coming through in America, and although the Americans are very strong, they're not as strong as what we have in Europe. I think the future is going to be very bright for the European tour over the next 5-10 years.
Your favourite Indian golfer?
Oh, they're great guys, every one of them. I mean, they're probably the 4 that I know: Jyoti, Shiv, Arjun and Jeev. And
You've left none.
You wouldn't meet either guys, no. Amadeep as well too. I've known him, who's played the Asian Tour. Wonderful guys. You wouldn't meet nicer guys. And I think, to be honest, of all the countries that we play on tour, the Indians are probably, as collectively, are the most popular, because every one of them is such nice people.
Thanks so much. It's such a pleasure interviewing you.
It's a pleasure.
We're in for a short break. When we come back on Tea Time, we're going to catch up with yet another pro. Stay right there. Back in a moment.
The Indian Open is such a big event every year.